Hi guys, welcome back to another Waffle and War. Now, I know that in our last episode we said that we were going to be playing a bit of 10th edition, if you remember, Joe.
Yeah.
So you've got me, crispy chicken salad, and you've got Josie Wosie.
Josie Wosie, Jesus.
Or just Joe. Joe. Couldn't think of anything funny and quick enough, so you got Josie Wosie.
Josie Wosie, all right.
Although, I sometimes like to call you Jose.
Jose, yeah, that works too.
So, yeah.
Jose.
Nicknames for Joe in the comments below. Unless you're that Karen from the Death Guard video, in which case, the Dark Angels video, in which case, you're rubbing up the wrong way already, Joe.
So that offhand rolling that I apparently did.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Hey, if anybody's listening at the moment, please explain what offhand rolling actually is, because the three of us are still not sure.
We assume it just means that you put it in your hand and slightly tilt it to try and make it land in the opposite. But even when we've tried to do that just to see, it doesn't work. So
yeah, and the majority of the time, off camera, we put the dice in our hand, we shake them, we then roll them off our hands.
Yeah,
so, I don't know.
Now,
I don't know.
The reason why we're not playing Warhammer tonight is because somebody's wife, mine, says that she forgot that we were going to be playing and swapped her shifts around.
I heard that one before.
I don't know how she could have forgotten. We literally talked about it in our last episode.
I know, she should have listened.
Daily in a drive in the car, I'd assume.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just like your wife, they just happen to never mention it to us.
Exactly.
Right, so let's dive on into Chaos Space Marines. So we're going to talk about Chaos Space Marines because Asbot Bogsmaga has still failed to come back from his travels up and down the country. So maybe next week. So we'll talk Chaos Space Marines this week, and then maybe we'll take a little dippy dive into some Orky Snorky Talky.
I think there might be some plans on Friday, I thought you said.
There might be. What's happening Friday?
I think we might be waffling warring on Friday. I'm sure we wrote in our WhatsApp group.
Okay, that's good. So hopefully Friday. So it depends on if Asbot Daz Snacker is free or not. So we shall find out. Stay tuned and place your bets below. So Chaos Space Marines, let's get going. We're at just doing a quick time check, a nice cheeky 9:30. So let's see if we can get this wrapped up by 10. And then bedtime.
Bedtime, you old man.
Oh, do you know what? My little demon prince of Nurgle has been running me ragged. That is not a euphemism. That is my son. I fondly describe. Right, Chaos Space Marines. Let's do this. Army rules. So we're just saying Dark Pacts. So it looks like you can choose to take on a Dark Pact for a unit. Each time a unit with this ability is selected to shoot or fight, it can make a Dark Pact. So you make a Dark Pact, and then you get to basically add a keyword to your shooting weapon, which is lethal hits or sustained hits 1. And then each time the unit makes the Dark Pact, after you've done all your shooting, you take a quick leadership test. If you fail it, that unit suffers a mortal wound, D3 mortal wounds. So it sounds like basically a bit like Superchargers or something. And we're thinking this replaces the old Wanted Destruction is our thoughts. So I don't know about you, Joe. Is that how you're reading it?
It seems to be. I mean, I've not looked at the Chaos the Chaos Marines Codex at all, to be fair. I didn't even have it downloaded. I've just had to download it as we started playing. I completely forgot you had Chaos.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to be leaning more heavily into Chaos, I think, because I enjoy Death Guard, but there's not as much variety in what you can bring units-wise as there is with Chaos Space Marines. And something that really upsets me is that the Primarch for Death Guard is so money-wise expensive compared to like Abaddon the Destroyer or Gilliman. So I'm aware that Abaddon is not, the Despoiler is not a Primarch in his own right, but he is the leader of the Black Legion after he collected up Horus's remains and brought them back, and then they pray to Horus, the true leader of the Black Legion. Bit of lore for you there, because Lord Master Azur isn't there. Okay, so in The Lost of the Damned, if your army faction is Heretic Astartes, you can basically bring some of either Khorne Berserkers, Rubric Marines, or Plague Marines.
What are Rubric Marines? Oh, they're Thousand Suns Marines.
Oh, yeah. The bit there's a Thousand Suns. So, yeah, there must be Thousand Suns. And then they've given a little... your army, you can combine points values such as units you can include in your army to men. So it will allow you to bring so many points basically for each size battle of other things. So, for example, one that's we played a game at ninth, similar, didn't we? Where I bought some Death Guards as elites.
Did we film that one? We did, didn't we?
We did do a little film, but I believe we filmed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I made a joke about you still having to play Chaos, even though you've got a different army. You still play, sorry, Death Guard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And I have painted up like my Rhino and stuff to have a bit of homage for both, so I can use them in either. So let's move on a bit. So we've got some detachment rules. So the marks of chaos. So this was something you could do in ninth, but it's the ability to change slightly. So you can basically give a unit. So when mustering your army, each time a Heretic Astartes unit is included in your army, if that unit is not an epic hero, does not already have one or more of the keywords listed below, you must select one of the keywords keywords in this way on your army roster. Each time a unit... Sorry, I lost my line. You must select one of the keywords listed below for that unit to gain. Note which units gain which keywords in this way on your army roster. Each time a unit with one of these keywords makes a Dark Pact, it gains the associated ability below until the end of that phase. So it's changed slightly, because I believe, for example, Death Guard is the one that I sort of took note of for ninth. It gave a different thing to what it does now. So you can have a Mark of Nurgle, for example, which is spreading sickness, which just means that basically if you've taken on a Dark Pact and you've taken on the sustained hits ability when you've got the Mark of Nurgle, then in that phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, no model followed hit roll of 5 plus scores a critical hit. So you almost get an extra little boost depending on which mark you have. So I was sort of saying to you before, I'm planning on painting up some Plague Marines, because I've got quite a few Plague Marines. Painting some up as Chaos, but then giving them like Nurgle, the Death Guard shoulder pads.
Yeah.
So they're sort of, they are. I've got the choice to either play them as Legionaries that have got the Mark of Nurgle, or bring them as a unit of Plague Marines that fight for Chaos, as it were. So almost like they're big Chaos Marines, but they've been blessed by Nurgle.
Chaos.
To make them Death Guard, which I quite like the idea of.
I like the idea of it.
So restrictions: you're not allowed a Khorne keyword for a Psychic unit, and a character unit with the leader ability can only be attached to a bodyguard unit if both those units share the same keywords. So that could create you problems if you were to give something a Nurgle keyword, and then you've got something else that hasn't got that. It has a different keyword, and you want to join them up and synergize them, you can't. So you do have to think about that carefully, about whether it's worth doing.
So what units can you pick from Death Guard? Is it so is this Mark of Chaos, is this a unit of Death Guard Marines or a unit of Chaos Marines that you give us the Mark of Chaos to? So would it be like your Chaos Marines, or would it be your Death Marine guys, Death Guard guys?
So it'd be Chaos Marines. So there'll be the Legionaries, which are the Chaos Space Marines.
Gotcha.
That's like your is it intercessors that you guys have, your standard Marines. So it'll be your standard Chaos Marines, but then for example, Khorne may come along and just give them a little lick on the shoulder. Yeah. And they go, I like you. And then basically they would then have the Khorne keyword, which would then help, sort of when they take on their Dark Pact, they would get that little boost. Okay. Yeah, so they've got a bit of a blessing. So they've been given a few extra enhancements, but not fully taken by Khorne or Is that Teesnich? I can't read that. Tzeen
Tesnich. Tesnich. I'd read that as Tesnich. It's probably not right, but
Nurgle and Slanesh, and then your Chaos Undivided. So you've got a couple of things to choose from, but they would be your standard dudes with a little less, a little boost, a little helpful, from one of the other Chaos gods, as it were.
So can you bring your Plague Marines anymore?
Yes, so that's what they were saying in the Lost and the Damned. So you can bring so many Plague Marines.
Okay.
So
I was listening, honest.
You bring up. You weren't. You can tell you weren't.
Oh yeah. It's because I'm painting. I'm sorry. I'm doing what you two normally do, where you don't listen, you just paint. So I'm painting. So and then jumping in when I hear something.
Yeah. Okay. So every now and then I'll just go really and catch you out. So,
yeah. Do it.
So if I wanted to bring some Plague Marines, if we're playing Incursion, I can bring up to 250 points worth of Plague Marines. Strike Force up to 500, Onslaught up to 750 points.
And I now remember you saying, because you said about the Rubik's Cube Marines, and I was like, oh, what are those? Yeah, I remember now. See, I was kind of listening.
You're half listening. You did a
I did.
You were hearing just enough to be able to blag that you were listening the whole time.
Yeah.
Don't you treat me like I'm your wife. So, Chaos Space Marines, Slave to Darkness stratagems. Infernal Rites is one of the stratagems then. So in your shooting phase or the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, and then the target is one heretic Astartes unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time an attack targets your unit, worsen the armor penetration characteristic by 1. So that's essentially the armor of contempt.
Yes.
That we had, briefly had when they brought out your stupidly strong Tyranids.
Don't Death Guard have something similar? Or am I thinking of Space Marines? Maybe
it sounds like they're all the Space Marine ones have been given a bit of, but yeah, it's upsetting. It's 2 command points, and
that's weird.
Actually, that does sound a lot like the Disgusting and Resilient, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's definitely one.
You're not reducing the damage; you're reducing the armor penetration, but they are definitely just slightly modifying, but using a similar stratagem.
Hang on. Where's my Death?
Death Guard was 2 command points for Disgusting and Resilient, but you reduced the damage characteristic by 1.
Okay.
And this one is reducing the armor penetration characteristic by 1. So I suppose the only time this is worth doing is if you really want to try and shrug it off.
Yeah.
So Eternal Hate then. So that will be used in the fight phase just after an enemy unit selects its targets. One heretic Astartes from your army that was selected as a target of one or more of the attacks. Effect until the end of each phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed. If that model has not fought this phase, roll 1d6, adding 1 to the result if it is a Khorne unit. So a d6, you get to add 1 if it's Khorne, but you don't add 1 if it isn't a Khorne, mark of Khorne. Oh no, just a Khorne unit. On a 4+, 3+ if it's Khorne, do not remove it from play. That destroyed model can fight after the attacking model's unit has finished making its attacks and is then removed from play. So that's quite an interesting one. That's only 1 command point.
Yeah.
That could be quite annoying because if you've paid to go first because you're planning on trying to wipe me out because you've only got 1 or 2 wounds left yourself, you could take me out. I could spend a command point for that unit and then basically pass the test on a couple of legionaries and then return my fighting and kill you as well. That could be really annoying for you.
Pretty mean, dude, to be fair.
Yeah. You're painted again, I can hear it.
No. I'm just I was just downloading the Death Guard Marine Codex into our Google Drive folder.
Okay. Well,
just because it's not in there.
Okay, so profane zeal. Moving on to this one then. So when your shooting phase or the fight phase. So a lot of these shooting phase, fight phase, when you've been selected to be targeted, that's when these all seem to be working. And the effect on this one, it's one command point. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1 and reroll a wound roll of 1. If your unit is a Chaos Undivided unit, then you can re-roll the hit roll and you can re-roll the wound roll of the attack. So that's quite a good one. Re-rolling ones on both the hit and the wound roll for just... So you selected that when you've chosen one to fight. So that's actually that's probably going to be a stratagem I'm going to use more than other ones. If I'm attacking you and I can re-roll a 1 and re-roll hits of 1 and wounds of 1.
Is that all of them or just one of them?
Yeah, all of them.
Each time your model makes an attack, re-roll a hit one of 1 and a hit roll of... Wow, that's pretty good. And that's one command point.
Yeah.
That's better than it decrease you -1 AP.
Exactly. So you're going to use that more so you can really hit a good blow. Now, I wonder if you can use both Eternal Hate. So you can keep the ones that have just been killed on the fight, if they've not had a chance to fight yet. Keep them on the battlefield, and then use the Profane Zeal to really pack a punch. That could be helpful.
Interesting.
Yeah, I suppose they'll be in different phases, won't they? So you definitely could.
Yeah, shooting phase.
Fight phase, and then I suppose, yeah. Don't know. Can you use 2 stratagems in the same phase?
Yeah, but they're in. That's Eternal Hate is specific to the fight phase, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, but if you're in the fight phase, can you use both of those in the fight phase? You know, you've just been. So if we're fighting, and you pay to interrupt.
Oh, it says in the shooting phase or the fight phase. Yeah, you can use both stratagems at the same time.
Oh, nice then. Yeah, so that will be really good to keep the units in play after you've paid to interrupt.
You use all 3 of the stratagems, actually.
I'm saying pay to interrupt as if that's a thing now, but I don't think that's a thing now, is it?
I've no idea. It was, wasn't it?
I don't think. Yeah.
Don't know. If anybody's listening, let us know.
Yeah. And then we've got some more stratagems. Skin for shift. This is a command phase one.
Yeah.
1 heretic Astartes unit from your army. 1 model in that unit gains up to 3 lost wounds. In addition, if your unit is a 10 inch unit below, its starting strength. 1 destroyed model, excluding character models, is returned to your unit with 4 wounds remaining. So that's basically a bit of a reanimation, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
1 command point. That's not bad. You know, if you want to heal something up a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty mean.
Yeah, that is pretty mean. I like it. Dark Obstruction. Your opponent's shooting phase just after the enemy unit has selected its targets. 1 heretic Astartes unit from your army that was selected as a target of 1 or more of the attacking units. Until the end of the phase, your unit has a stealth ability. In addition, if your unit is a Nurgle unit, until the end of the phase, your unit can only be selected as a target of a ranged attack if the model's within 12 inches. That's not bad. So stealth ability, basically probably similar to how smoke screens worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. And then unnatural swiftness. And your movement phase, until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. In addition, if your unit is Slanesh unit, until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced. Ooh. Ooh. Maybe we need to bring a Slanesh unit.
Slaneshi.
No idea what
Slanesh is like the god of sex and lust and stuff like that, isn't it?
Fair enough.
I think they're lady demons with yeah, they are the lady demons with leather bits covering the naughty bits.
Well, sign me up.
So they sound like the perfect army. They've also got blokes that are wearing essentially dresses and stuff. They're like sexy demons, basically.
So they cater for you as well.
Yeah. So it is
Right.
where is it? It's just bloody gone off my screen. Slanesh is known as the Dark Prince, the Lord of Excess, the Perfect Prince, Prince of Chaos, Imperial of Men, some other stuff.
Nice. Right, let's look at these enhancements then, because time's getting by. Talisman of Burning Blood. Heretic Astartes Corn model only. Add 1 to the attacks and strength characters to the bearer's melee weapons. Each time the bearer unit makes a Dark Pact until the end of the phase, add D3 to the attacks. That's pretty good.
To be fair, though, you're only going to probably play Orbs of Unlife, which is the Heretics of Astartes Nurgle models.
Yeah, that's true. Let's just jump to that. Here it is, yeah. Heretic Astartes Nurgle model only. At the end of the fight phase, roll a d6 for every enemy unit within 6 inches of the bearer. Adding 1 to the result if the bearer's unit made a Dark Pact that phase on a 4+ or 3+ if it made a Dark Pact. An enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. Ooh, that's nasty.
That is nasty. Very unfair. The Chaos have got some good stuff so far.
Yeah, do you know what? I think it's going to be quite an interesting one. I like having that sort of mesh between Chaos and obviously Death Guard. I like the fact that they do sort of. It creates a few extra options, shall we say?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So may as well. I've got the Abaddon the Despoiler model to paint up, so we may as well have a little read through of his data sheet. And you can tell me, are you familiar with Gilliman's data sheet?
Not off the top of my head, but I can easily put it up. Or Abaddon's at the very start. 1 second.
Yeah. Just thinking we could have a little compare.
Is that one?
While you're looking yours up, I'll start talking through this one. So the Abaddon the Despoiler, we've got a 5-inch movement rate, movement, toughness of 5, saving throw of 2, 9 wounds, leadership of 5, and an OC of 4. We've got let's look at abilities. So the abilities, the War Master. In your command phase, select 1 War Master ability, see to the left. Until the start of your next command phase, this model has that ability. So let's have a look at those War Masters. So War Master, we've got Paragon of Hatred is an aura ability. While a friendly Heretic Astartes unit within 6 inches of the model, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit rolls. Pretty nasty. Mark of Chaos Ascendant is an aura ability. While a friendly Heretic Astartes infantry or Heretic Astartes mounted units within 6 inches of this model, models have a 4+ invulnerable save. Lord of the Traitor Legions aura. While a friendly Heretic Astartes unit is within 6 inches of this model, you can reroll leadership and battle shock test taken for that unit.
That's pretty good.
What do you think to those?
That's pretty good. RoboCop has got the same. Gilliman, Roberto Gilliman has got Gilliman, isn't it? He's got the author of the Codex, which essentially is the same sort of in your command phase. Select one of these 3. So that's quite good. We need to do.
Does it do similar kind of things with re-rolling hit rolls, invulnerable saves, or battle shock tests?
It does not. No, it does. Briefly, let me just zoom in so those on YouTube can see it. So, Primarch of the 13th, when a friendly Astartes unit is within 6 inches, add 1 to the objective control characteristics, and you can re-roll your battle shocks and leadership tests. Master of Battle, after you have selected an enemy unit for Oath of Moment ability, select a second enemy. Basically, I think you get to do it to another. Yeah, command phase, select the first unit, destroy blah 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 blah, whatever it says there, something about re-rolling hit rolls and wound rolls, and then it's just supreme strategist. Excuse me. Once per turn, you can target a friendly Astartes within 12 inches of this model, and then it basically costs nothing to use a stratagem on it.
Nice. Okay, so if you do a bit different to what mine are, then
very.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I can definitely see how re-rolling hit rolls when you're doing the attacking is going to, if you think, I'm going to be fighting first, I'm going to be charging in, then at the start of that command phase, you're going to choose your let's re-roll hit rolls and attacks and stuff.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to get absolutely caned and hit against something really hard hitting, then you may choose the invulnerable save instead. So if I've got an infantry unit that's going up against, say, Terminators, and I'm thinking, shit, they're not going to do very well, could give them that little bit of a buff there, give them a 4+ invulnerable save, so they're a bit harder to take out.
Yeah.
Slow down that big beast of whatever you've got coming at me. Which could be quite helpful. And then obviously being able to re-roll leadership and battle shock tests. If I say I need to do an action, or we need to do something where being battle shocked is going to really just lose me the game, that's when I'm selecting that one really. So that you can see really that there's going to need to be a lot of sort of careful considerations about what you think you're going to be facing and doing each turn, before you just jump into making the same decisions every time.
Yeah.
And then obviously the other ability is Dark Destiny. Each time the model makes a Dark Pact and does not fail the resulting leadership roll test, roll 1d6 on a 2+, you gain 1 command point. So that's not bad.
That's pretty good, dude, to be fair.
Yeah, so... Oh, sorry, I'm letting out a little yawn there. That's just escaped me.
Boring yourself, dude.
I know. Right, so it's because it's a bit later than we normally start. So keywords are obviously infantry character, epic hero, Terminator, Chaos Undivided, Chaos. So interestingly, I was going to say interestingly, it means you can't give it a mark or whatever, but we've got Chaos Undivided, Chaos Corn, Slanesh, Nurgle, Tezenech, and Abandoned Despoiler. So it's already got all the keywords. So I wonder if that means that you can choose to give it that enhancement, or whether it just means, or they're all there so that it's to say that it can pair with any if you have given any. I'd say they've probably got the keywords there so that they can still synergize with a legionary that has that keyword.
Yeah, and he can also join a squad of Chaos Plague Marines as well, because he holds the Nurgle keyword. Yeah,
nice. I like it. That's good. So unit composition, 1 Abandoned Despoiler is an epic hero, so obviously we can't give him any enhancements because he's already enhanced. And he's got Talon of Horus, and the Drakian,
something like that,
yeah.
Drakian.
So the Talon of Horus has got sustained hits of 1. It's a 24-inch range. 4 attacks, ballistic skill of 2, strength of 5, arm pierce and 1, damage 2. So that's going to be pretty nasty. That's going to take out a couple of your standard infantry guys quite easily, I think. 2 damage, 4 attacks. I could really put a dent in it and maybe take out 1 or 2 Terminators. What do you think?
And it's got sustained, maybe Terminators, but definitely normal intercessors.
Yeah. And then obviously getting into melee, this bad boy he's got devastating wounds on either Talons of Horus or the Drakian.
So as far as I'm aware, you use all of them. So the 14 and the 8. I don't think you select. I think you can use both of them.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Because you've got two.
It tells you in your loadout, though, doesn't it? So
yeah, but in
Talons of Horus, and Drakion. So it's equipped with both.
But in the previous edition, you were allocated, say, 14 attacks, and you divided those 14 attacks amongst your melee weapons. But now it tells you the attacks on the weapon profile. So you've got 8 attacks on the whatever the first one says, and then you've got 14 attacks on Talons of Horus. So that to me reads like you've got 14 attacks and you've got 8 attacks as well.
Well, I'm not sure, because when Winters has done a little talk about stuff, he said you've got your sweep like your with Typhus or whatever, you've got your sweep option and you've got your.
But that normally has got a little arrow that says before attacking, choose one of the following profiles. These don't. It's the same with Gilliman. He's got the Emperor's Sword and he's got the Hand of Domination. They're both a very different 14 attacks and 7 attacks.
Okay, well, I think we're going to need to get that clarified before we play.
We'll have to RTFM that one, because like I said in 9th edition, it would say at the top how many attacks you've got, and then you would allocate them to.
I get what you're saying, and I think we did discuss this in a previous one, because it sounded odd, but we sort of said, well, if you load it out with 5 different ranged weapons,
you would use
and
them
they're loaded out and you paid, you use them all, so it would make sense, but it feels very strong on OP. So we'll have to just.
Don't forget, though, he's the leader.
Read the rules first.
He's the leader of the chaos, so he's going to be strong.
I get that, and he's going to pack a punch. I completely get it.
Hey, do you want to compare your melee against Gilliman's melee?
Yeah, go on then.
All right, go on. You go first.
All right. So we've got, if we read it how you've just read it, we've got the Drakion, which is my melee. It's 8 attacks. So this is my stronger one. Oh, we're not doing it.
Sorry. Yeah, so Gilliman's got the Emperor's Sword, which is devastating wounds. It's melee, and it's got 14 attacks.
Oh, okay. So my Talon of Horus would be the same, 14 attacks.
Okay. So I'll do. I'll read. Okay, you've read. I'll read the Hand of Domination. Is lethal hits. It's melee, and it's got 7 attacks.
Okay, so I get 1 extra with my Drakion because it's 8 attacks.
Yeah, we've got the same weapon skill, 2+.
2+, yeah. Strength on my Drakion is 14.
Strength is 14 for the Hand of Domination.
And my Talon of Horus is strength 7.
Hand of Domination is minus. Oh, it's strength. No, my AP is -3. I thought you already said strength.
No, strength. Strength of 7.
Wait, which one are you doing? I thought you were doing the top one. Draculium.
Well, I'm confused because that's the 8 attacks, and then you start talking 14 attacks.
Strength 14 is the Hand of Domination.
Right, let's start again.
Again.
Right, so we're choosing the lower attacks or the higher attacks?
The lower attacks, right. The stronger ones.
Okay, the Drakion, which is my stronger one, is 8 attacks, and yours was 7.
Yep, the Hand of Domination with lethal hits is 7 attacks.
Weapon skill of 2+, strength is 14.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah. What's your toughness?
My toughness is 9.
Oh, my toughness is only 5. So you're going to land a lot easier than mine is going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arm piercing is -4.
-4. And
then damage is 3.
Damage is 4.
Ooh. So you're going to land easier against Abaddon. And then you're going to damage harder as well.
Well, you know.
How many wounds have you got?
10.
I've got 9. So Abaddon's not going to do as well. Have you got an invul save?
Yeah, +4.
Oh, I've got +4. So the Talon of Horus. So that's the higher attacks, lower strength.
Yeah.
So that's 14 attacks.
Emperor's Sword with devastating wounds is 14 attacks.
Oh, yeah, I was devastated on both. 2+ for weapon skill. Strength is 7.
2+ weapon skill. Strength is 8.
AP -3.
AP -3 again.
1 damage.
2 damage.
Damn, shit, son.
And if you want,
tough.
If you want to, just get a little bit more angry, Gilliman holds the Armor of Fate. So for the first time this model is destroyed, roll 1d6 at the end of the phase. On a 3+, set this model back up as close as the enemy, but not within engagement range, with 6 wounds remaining.
Oh, shit. Bloody hell. Right, and He's a leader, and Abaddon can go with the Chaos Terminator Squad or Legionnaires. So he can't join Death Guard.
No, that's a shame.
No, but what he can do is if I've got some Legionnaires that have the blessings of Nurgle, he can join those.
Yeah.
And if they've got blessings of Khorne, he can join those, or Slanesh, he can join those.
Now, my Robocop, Ravuto, can't join a squad because he's just too cool. Although he does, while this model is in 3 inches of one or more friendly Astartes infantry units, this model has the lone operative ability. I don't know what that means. So.
Oh yeah, I think we were going to look that up, weren't we? And I just never did.
Oh yeah. Well, if anybody knows.
Yeah, just tell us. Save us a job. Nice. So I think we talked about the Demon Prince when we discussed this Death Guard already.
Mm-hmm.
Just having a quick flip through to see if there's anything that I've got that I'm going to want to check out.
What about the Chaos Sorcerer dude?
Oh yeah, let's see. What page is he on? Oh, found him. He's on page 27.
27. Oh,
so
yeah.
Movement of 6 inches, toughness of 4, saving throw of 3, wounds of 4, leadership of 6, and OC of 1. He's a leader, so I can use him as a HQ. He's got Dark Pax as his faction. He's got the pre-science. Now, that was one of the abilities in 9th, one of the plague abilities. So that's psychic. While this model is leading a unit, each time an attack targets the unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. So I like that. That's pretty decent, isn't it? So it gives that unit basically -1 to the hit roll. That's quite a decent buff there. Gifts of Chaos Psychic. Each time a model is selected to shoot or fight, after resolving the attack, select 1 enemy unit hit by 1 or more of those attacks that had a psychic ability. The unit must take a leadership test. If that test is failed, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Oh, that's good. I mean, it's not, obviously, but...
Nice.
Pretty mean. Packing a punch.
Yeah, that's like an extra bit of slap in the face, really. So he's got the force weapon, which is psychic, which is your melee. It's 4 attacks, weapon skill of 3, strength of 6, AP -1, and D3 damage. That's not very nice, is it?
I don't know what the psychic keyword actually means. Why is that a force weapon? Why is it relevant that it's a psychic? Do you think?
I don't know.
Oh, I can't, because the gift of chaos affects models with a weapon that has psychic. Oh, okay, so I imagine there's other rules that affect it.
So that's just to really make it pack a punch harder.
Cool.
And we can join Legion Wiz or Chosen. That's pretty decent. So I could sit those in a nice pack of Legion Wiz and then hit out a few bit of psychic. And those legions would become bodyguards.
I think you should get Lucius the Eternal on page 31. He is cool.
He looks cool, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Ruler cool. He's he looks like he. Lucius the Eternal. So is that? I wonder if that is the Lucius that was one of the Emperor's children in the Horus Heresy. I'm sure it must be.
I've no idea. He's a champion, essentially, by the looks of things.
If it is, then Lucius is the one he was an Emperor's child, and he was friends with. Now I can't remember this. Saul Tarvitz, I think it was.
No.
And basically, he was sent down to Isfahan, and then betrayed. And when Horus dropped all of the world ender bombs, world destroyer bomb things, and he was betrayed, and he was part of the loyalist.
Have you moved away from your camera again?
Oh, I don't know. Right,
sounds
the laptop. Right.
Oh my God! You've turned into a robot.
Oh.
Uh-oh. I don't know what you've done, but you've gone.
Don't be silly.
Now you're back. We're okay.
Still here. We have to have a little mic issue on my end. in every podcast. It's like a thing now. So Lucius basically was part of the, the loyalists' last stand, but basically then betrayed them all. Spoiler alert. He then betrayed them all to try and join back with, because he would have followed Horus anyway. So he basically turned on them all to get back to his legion, Greater Legion. So yeah, maybe I will get him. Can he be used in the Black Legion? Oh, there you go. Core abilities fights first. So that one would be, where we said about paying to interrupt and all that.
Yeah.
So he's Slanesh. Lucius the Eternal.
Okay, so you can't have him. Why don't you move on to page 39? That's a model that I recognise from your collection.
Let's have a little look-see.
Also, we are on at 40 minutes.
Okay. Oh, yes. We've got him. I've just painted him up, haven't I?
You have,
I'm quite pleased with the paint job I've done on him as well. So he's basically a bit like your the dude with the skeleton face.
Chaplain.
Yeah, it's a bit like your Champlain. I think they could do like chants.
Mm.
Like rather than they're like, they don't psychic, they just chant.
They do a bit of singing.
Yeah, I think he does a bit of singing.
Marie, like that.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. Actually, if you carried on, I think you'd have opened up a little wormhole and a little warp monster would have come out and tried to suck your face off.
I'm glad I stopped when I did. Yes, he is
you're going to start up again.
Yeah, he is definitely a dark chaplain because he has a cursed Crossius. Again, it's a word that Azza normally tells me how to pronounce, and I always forget. I'm going to say Crossius because it's a 50-50 chance. I just did a burp. So he does a lot of interesting stuff anyway.
He does, yeah. I'll let people just read the data sheets, I think.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's probably all the ones we need to talk about.
You sure? Not about the cursed or the possessed or the possessed cursed or legionaries?
I think the thing is we run into that danger of just talking about all of them. I think we've talked about the main things really, haven't we?
Have you got any Chaos Terminators yet?
Not yet.
The emphasis on the not yet. I like it. Oh, you can have a Master of Executions. Oh, he looks cool.
But there's a lot of cool stuff for Chaos, which is why I'm sort of dipping my toe into the world of Chaos. The problem is I could spend an awful lot of money when it comes to this.
Yeah, the Chaos are pretty cool. You can have a Noise Marine. Have you seen the Noise Marine? He is hilarious.
I have seen the Noise. You can also get upgrade packs to bring a whole squad of Noise Marines.
Can you? I know that Eddie has. Eddie had a Noise Marine at some point in time. I didn't inherit that one when I purchased everything off him. I think he's kept that, which is fine.
Well, it's more of a special model, isn't it?
Yeah. Chaos Bikers. I know somebody who wants bikes desperately.
I do want some Chaos bikes, but yeah, I was holding out for the bigger, newer models to release. But
oh, I do like the Raptors with the jetpacks. They're cool. And the Warp Talon. Oh, he looks cool. There's some awesome Chaos models actually. I've never really looked through the Chaos models, so I apologise. Obliterator. Oh, I've never seen the date sheet for him. Maybe you want to. Yeah.
I've got those. I've got 2 Obliterators.
Yeah.
Do you remember I said they look like little baby brutes?
They are little baby brutes. Yeah, they're awesome.
Which page is that on?
Page 69, Giggity.
Giggity. Oh, yes, right. Let's have a look at this then. Right, we'll talk about this one. You piqued my interest. So, Obliterators. I've still got to paint these up, but I managed to get these off eBay. So, let's have a little look. They're very slow, but that's because they're big and funky. Toughness is 7. Saving throw of 2. 5 wounds, leadership of 6, and OC of 2. And they've got the flesh metal guns, which is focused malice, melted 2. So that's a range of 24 inches. Attacks of D3. So if it's melter 2, does that mean you've got two lots of these?
Yeah, I think so.
So
No,
is that two
it
lots
does.
of D3?
I think it does 2 extra hits. I think.
Okay.
I think.
So it's D3. So it'd be D3 plus 2.
Hang on.
We really need to read the rules.
hang on. Melter plus 2. So melter increased damage by X within half range.
Okay, so increased damage by 2. So its damage would be 4 plus 2.
Yeah.
If it was within half range.
Yeah.
So it used to say in the ability next to it, didn't it? So I do you remember?
Yeah.
It would say in half damage it's D3 plus 3 or whatever.
Now, going back to what we were talking about earlier on with the melee, so if you notice they've got the little triangle sort of bullet shapes next to each other.
Yeah.
So before selecting this weapon, choose one of the... So he's equipped with all 3 of them, but you only choose one on attack.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. Or you could have your Ruinous Salvo, which is the blast. It's D6 attacks. BS is they're all ballistic skills of 3. Strength of that is 8. Arm piercing minus 2 and damage 2.
These guys are evil. Hurry up and paint them.
They are definitely sitting on the desk trying to tempt me. I need to finish my Demon Prince first. 24-inch range, D6 plus 3 for the flesh metal guns. Ballistic skills of 3, strength of 5, so it's quite weak. Arm piercing minus 1, so you can shrug it off easily. It's 1 damage. So that's going to be your horde killer. Your blast is going to be your sort of your medium sized. You've got a big blob. They're a little bit harder to kill, but you still don't need too much power. And then obviously you've got your top level there, which is going to be your tank destroyers, aren't they?
Yeah. Strength 5 is pretty good though.
And then we go wading straight into melee with crushing fists, 4 attacks. We're hitting on 3s. Strength of 9. So I'm just going to go put a big ass dent in a tank.
Yep.
Arm piercing minus 2, and it's 2 damage. So again, you could potentially be putting in 8 wounds there.
Yeah.
And we've got Warp Rift Firepower. Once per battle, when this unit makes a Dark Pact, it can use the ability. If it does, until the end of the phase, ranged weapon models in this unit are equipped with indirect fire ability. Does that mean you don't need line of sight or something like that, do you think?
Yeah, I think you don't need line of sight. 1 second, I can tell you. Thanks to Azza for doing these lovely charts. Indirect fire can target a non-visible unit, -1 to the hit rolls, and gives the benefit of cover to the target.
That's not bad. I mean, if you're making a desperate plea, that's one to do it on.
Yeah, man, 24-inch range on that. Don't forget, you could do that on your melter at 12 inches. That's going to be pretty brutal.
Yeah, and then it's got an invulnerable save of 5 as well, which I think will be quite handy.
That's going to come.
You can bring 2 to 4 obliterators, so maybe I'd buy some more.
You should.
And every model is equipped with the flesh metal guns and crushing fists. Nice.
Love it.
Yeah, that's going to be decent. Right, we won't get drawn into discussing any others.
I'm certainly not looking down at all the tanks. That's one thing I'm definitely not doing right now. A Defiler.
Oh, the Defiler Death Guard can have that as well, I think.
Yeah, that's got to be something you need to get that.
The trouble is, it's absolutely bloody massive.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Around and be tricky. Right, so I hope you enjoyed this one. I think we need to stop there.
Yeah, because I'm looking at a forge feed and that looks awesome.
Okay, so Joe's getting lost in the world of chaos now.
Chaos. Ah, Helldrake.
That's right.
You sign off, man.
Mr. Loyalist.
You sign off, man. Oh my god, what is a Mauler Fiend? That looks awesome. It looks like a Digimon.
Oh dear. Right. Okay, so like, subscribe, tell your mums. Don't forget, move the troops.
Move the troops.
And hopefully we'll be coming at you nice and hot. Tomorrow evening, where we're going to discuss some orky walkie-talkies.
A question: are you going to get the Corn Lord of Skulls? He's ridiculous.
He's ridiculously priced.
Oh dear! Hey, you can get a portal thing that does stuff as well. Anyway, we better go. Bye.
Right. Bye.